Today we've got the Wabash RT. We're going to be doing finishing up the high assistance level. Range test. It's going to be level 4. We've already done the range test for the lowest level in Eco Plus, so I decided to fill the battery back up, take it out, and see what I could get in high. I mentioned it earlier in one of my other videos that the range wasn't quite what I expected it to be or what it was marketed as, and so I wanted to test it in all the different PAS settings, or at least the top and bottom PAS setting, and see what it would do. So that's the point of today. I apologize if the wind is making it hard to hear. This bike's super fast whenever you have the highest assist setting on. So just bear with me. The ride I took this morning after the battery was full was about 19.8 miles or so. And so you just consider that 20 miles. And when I got home, it said that it had 11 miles of range left right here. Based on the bike's computer, BMS, when I originally started out on the ride, they told me I had about 40 miles of range, and like I said, I've only ridden 20 miles, and now it's got 10 miles left. So if this were accurate, that would mean that I would have about 30 miles of range in high. But I'm thinking it's really going to have maybe 35. But just keep in mind, guys, this bike is fast, crazy fast. So the fact that it's even went this many miles going this fast, I pretty much go above 25 mile an hour the whole time. Somewhere between 25 and 27 the whole time. Unless you're going up a hill and then it slows down a bit, and we'll cover that in a little bit. But yeah, dude, it's pretty good. And I'm able to still get a little bit of a workout as well. I think I burned 1,000 calories this morning riding that 20 miles. I think my heart rate was somewhere around 140 or 150. So if you're concerned that turning the bike all the way up on high, you won't be able to carry a high heart rate, it's simply not the case. You can get a good workout. You're just not going to get the muscle strength that you would if it was in a lower setting. So think of it as good cardio, low resistance. My hip is acting up on me. It's actually really interesting because I don't typically have any issues. With my legs or anything like that. Maybe my lower back, I have problems with that. But I don't typically have any issues otherwise. And yeah, this bike, because it's giving me assistance, my legs are kind of like moving but not acting like they typically would on a bike, right? Because it's like I'm cycling. It's like if you were on a Peloton with very low resistance. As you guys can see here, this neighborhood is 25 5-mile-per-hour speed limit. I'm sitting here right on this car's tail. No issues. Let's see if I can follow him up the hill. $18, $19. So yeah, it's pretty good. Oh shoot! I don't know if you guys have to deal with this. There's power lines right here. Every time I come up here, I get shocked like crazy. My legs, my hands, everything. I get shocked by static electricity. People call me crazy, but it happens every time I come up here. I'd like to know if somebody else has that problem around power lines. It's specifically when I'm cycling. All right. Anyway, it's kind of in line with what my expectations were. I didn't expect the bike to get the full range that it was calling because it didn't do that with Eco Plus. So my assumption was that high would be the same. It would quote me high and then fall off much more quickly than one would assume. So I guess that's my experience thus far, is that the bike overquotes when the pack is full and underquotes when the pack is empty. So when I did the full range test in Eco Plus, the bike said it had 0 miles of range left, but yet I went 8 miles, 8 additional miles beyond that or so, and the bike still had assistance. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I think I'm going to be doing my 12-mile ride, and we're going to see what this thing does. Because I started out, like I said, after this morning, whenever I stopped, it said it had 11 miles of range. I'm going to ride it for 12 miles just to see if that's accurate. My original thought was that I was going to get about 15 miles out of the bottom of the pack, but I'm at 4.4, and as you can see here, the bottom bar is blinking and it says I got 4 miles left. So if that's accurate at all, that would mean that the bike has something like 28 miles of range in high. I do have a working theory though, and this might be something I have to test because my results are so different than a couple of the other testers. My thought is I'm putting more torque into the bike and therefore staying in a higher cadence and higher power output than if I would just back off and stay a little smoother with it and let the bike give me a little bit less range or less assistance, less power, I guess, less torque is what I would call it. But because I stay up in this high realm of like speed, I mean, this morning I was riding this thing like a motorcycle, no less than 25 mile an hour the whole time. And to be honest, when I first took off on this ride, it was a lot of the same. This last portion here, I'm going like 20, 21, which is not bad. Definitely still feel the higher level of assistance giving me help, but it's not giving me what it gave me in the beginning. You can definitely tell the bike's at the bottom of the pack right now. It's a whole different bike when you're at the top of the pack. I didn't notice it as much when I was in Eco Plus. I didn't notice the drop off of assist. I guess maybe I was doing a lot of the work, which is kind of the intent of Eco Plus, so it would make sense. But now here with high on, it's definitely not giving me high output anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Bike's quoting me at 3 miles left. And I've ridden 5 miles so far, 5.5. This is kind of what I've seen before, where it gets sort of the bottom of the pack. It says 0 for range and still gives you more assistance. We're going to keep going. I think there are a lot of people at the park tonight. I don't want to deal with that. Definitely a significant drop in power. But we're still maintaining 19 miles per hour, about 20 miles per hour. The bike still says we have 2 miles of range left. So my guesstimation, before the bike completely gives out and doesn't give me any more assistance, it's going to be, if I got 8 miles past 0 on Eco, I figure I'm going to get somewhere close to 2 to 4 past 0 in high. So 1 more mile left to hit 0. Still blinking down there. Currently heart rate is 126 and we are at 6.4 miles since we started. I did go up a pretty decent hill, so that might have been what killed some of the battery. I'm definitely not adjusting the gears like I would if I was climbing it on my own. I'm staying in like the top, probably three cogs for speed. So that'd be like the most difficult of the gears. Thank you. And this thing is so stinking fast. These people are doing something dangerous. I don't know what they're thinking, trying to go in an outlet in the middle of a highway. That's crazy. Anyway, we just hit zero. So, we just hit zero, and we are at 6.92 miles. Let's see what happens. So when the bike says it's at zero, and this did it to me before on Eco Plus as well, it still has some range left. I think that's so that people don't get caught out. You know, they're just trying to give you a little bit of extra so that you don't have to worry about running out of electricity, which is a good thing. You know, if you're out on a ride and you've ridden 60 miles, 80 miles is what some of this is capable of. 60 to 80 miles. You definitely would love to have that additional 8 miles left whenever it hits zero, in case you miscalculated and you needed to get back to the car. Because this bike doesn't seem like it when you have the assist, right? And it doesn't seem like it when you pick the right gears. And it's not impossible to ride without assistance, but if you had to hilly terrain, this thing is quite heavy to take off and really get going. But once you get going, like any bike, it's not so bad. It's definitely still giving me assistance because it likes to put the power on when I'm turning. All right, we're gonna shoot over. Okay, I can feel that we're getting real close to the bottom. Hello. Yeah, I can feel the assistance on the bike starting to dwindle. Not terrible, but it's noticeable. Right. We still got that last bar blinking. And go ahead and turn on our light just in case the sun is going down. I'm really hoping this thing goes flat before I reach home so I can just turn in and be done. But last time it said zero, or was getting close to zero. I got close to home. I ended up doing like 5 laps, a mile apiece, seemed like, and the bike still just would not come off of the juice. So, yeah, it's a little reserved. So that's, I kind of spoke to that earlier. I don't know if I made it clear. The bike overquotes when it's at the top of the pack and underquotes when it's at the bottom of the pack. I don't know if I like the overquoting, but I do like the underquoting. Just a little. Oh, and that's another thing, guys. This thing, I said earlier on the other video when doing the range tests and Eco and Eco Plus, or just riding the bike in general up to that point, that it's smooth shifting. I never felt like the hard shifts like I do on my giant mountain bike. It's not accurate. When you pump this thing up to high and you shift under even the slightest bit of power, it definitely lets you know with a significant clunk when you shift under power. So anyway, back to the bike. We are climbing a pretty decent hill right now. Heart rate is bumpy. Oh, there it goes. We're out. We were just climbing a hill at like, I don't know, 18 or something like that. Maybe 15. We just got to 8.57 miles and she's gone. No more assistance. You could feel it cut out too. Wow, that was a huge difference going up that hill. So now you get to see what it's like for me to ride the bike without assistance up a hill. Slight hill down this hill. I'm really glad I'm going down this hill versus going up it. Oh, definitely feeling it in the heart rate. We're at 131 right now. We've been cruising at like 120. Easy peasy. Hi. Every time I go into those power lines, I get shocked on my hands, on my legs. I don't know why. Every time I cycle underneath those power lines, it starts shocking me with static electricity. I hate it. I have to ride through there every day. Oh yeah, guys. I am feeling it now. Oh. All right, well, you can stick around for a little while longer if you want. If not, we'll go ahead and close out. If you like this video, give me a like. Hey, if you found it helpful, consider subscribing. And if you want to see more content related to this bike or any of the other bikes I have in the garage, comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Also, if you're watching this and you've ordered this bike and you've ridden it and you've gotten a different output range-wise in Eco Plus or High or whatever mode, Auto, let me know in the comments. I'd like to know what everyone else got. All right, we're back. We're back. I just realized I didn't give you guys a total output. So I think it was like 7.5 or something like that when it cut fully. So 7.5 plus the original 19.8. Let's just go ahead and say kill the halves at 20 plus 7, 27 miles of range and high on the Wabash RT. Woo. Yeah, it was a fun 27 miles. This last bit going back to the house is not terrible, but also not easy. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you found this content interesting or helpful, consider subscribing. And if you want to see something related to this bike tested, or any of the other bikes I have tested in the real world, situation, comment down below and I'll try to get it to you. Total ride about 10 miles, 9.8 until we reached home. Thanks for watching, guys. Out.